Hey, Scout parents and Scouts. I wanted to kind of go over what I had talked about at Monday's meeting regarding the fundraiser because you may have seen something about fundraising, but maybe one of these forms which I handed out, maybe it didn't make its way back home to you. So let me explain what we're doing here. Uh, we're doing a fundraiser primarily right now for Sapelo, but even if your scout is not going to Sapelo, they can participate in the fundraiser. Now, the money that they earn through the fundraiser is going to go into their scout accounts. That's why even someone who's not going to Sapelo can still do this fundraising. At the end of the day, it all goes into their account. If they want to pay for Sapelo through that account, that's fine. If they want to pay for summer camp or a camporee or whatever, that's our policy. Is that once it's in your account, you can spend it on any kind of scout need. But I wanted to give them a way to raise some money, just because Sapelo is it's basically 250 bucks per scout, and then summer camp would come along, and if they wanted to do that, it would be another cost. So I wanted to give them an opportunity now. That being said, we will have more fundraising activities throughout the year, but everyone is welcome to participate in this one. So let me explain a little bit about what we're doing. There are two ways in which the scout can try to earn money. One from selling donuts through Krispy Kreme, another through selling these patches. Now, these patches are Sapelo Island trip specific. They're designed specifically for that. But we have a third patch that I designed, that we're going to, once the Sapelo trip is done, then we're going to start selling that third patch. And what that third patch is a 70th anniversary patch. Troop 45 has been around for 70 years now, and so I've designed a special patch for that. We just didn't want to confuse the Sapelo, the donuts, and then the 70 year. We thought that might be a little too much. So we will, once Sapelo is over, and the Krispy Kreme fundraiser, at the same time as those things are ending, then we'll start to think about this third patch. So let's discuss what's going on right now. On the screen here, you'll see that there's two patches. There's a $20 square knot patch and then a $100 Sapelo Island patch. And I am going to send this form in an email. That's how you've got the link to this video that you're watching right now. Well, the email that told you about this video also should have this form attached as a file in it. So you should all have this by virtue of the email. So with the patches, the troop has gone ahead and purchased. We could purchase 50 of these patches each. That was the minimum order, so I've made those purchases. The scouts can try to sell these patches, and the money will go back into their scout accounts. Now, first off, the patches cost the troop money, so probably the first thing we're going to do on these patch sales is try to recoup the money that we spent to get these, and then we'll figure out the money situation. I will tell you this, even though we don't have it exactly hammered out as to how much money goes where and all that kind of stuff. My intent is that on any kind of fundraising that we do, we try not to exceed like an 80-20 split. In other words, if we're doing a fundraiser, I want at least 80% of what they are earning. I want 80% to go into their accounts. Now, I'm new at this, and I don't, there's a lot of unforeseen things in the future, but that's my intent, an 80-20 split. So, for something like this, a large amount of the money is going to go to the scout account. If you sell, three of these $100 patches, if you can do that, then that ought to take care pretty much of the trip. So we'll we'll sit down as assistant scoutmasters and look at the finances of it and determine what needs to be done. I just hope that you'll trust that we'll treat you fairly, and we're going to make sure the overwhelming majority of all this money goes straight back into the scout account for your specific scout. So a lot of the deal with this patch system, though, is what I realized when I was talking to some of the executives with BSA is that BSA is never supposed to just outright ask for a donation of money. There's always supposed to be an exchange of a good or service. So if we're selling Krispy Kreme donuts and someone says, well, I'm not interested in buying donuts because I don't like donuts, can I just give you some money? The patch is the way you can do that. The patch technically makes it completely legit. If they want to give money, then you give them a patch. So they're exchanging, their donation for a good or service in that aspect. So you see the designs here that I have, and then down below there is a little list where they can put the names and addresses. Now each scout is going to deliver all of their stuff. So whatever donuts they sell, whatever patches they sell, once we get all that in, it's the scout's responsibility to deliver it back. So you need to keep good records of what you've sold to who and who's paid you and who hasn't. Okay. So just to let you know that's going. I'll come back to the website here in a second. The other way that we're doing the fundraiser is by selling donuts. People may not want to get a patch. They may not want to spend $100. I certainly understand that. They may not see an appeal in giving you $20 for a patch. But they may see the donuts and they want to give money based on that. So here's how the donuts work in a Krispy Kreme fundraiser if you're not familiar. The reason why I like Krispy Kreme fundraising is because it's a 50-50 split between the company and the fundraiser. In other words, and everything pretty much is 50-50 except the coffee. The coffee, for some odd reason, the money doesn't get split like that. We can talk about it. But on the glazed donuts, they're $10.50. If someone pays, you personally with cash or check, it's $10.50 a dozen. Well, half of that money, 5 1/4, goes to the Krispy Kreme company. 5 1/4 goes to the group, the person, whoever who's selling those donuts. So that's the 50-50 split. And that follows money pretty much, like I said, except for the coffee, all the way down the line there. The $12.50 for either chocolate iced donuts or for filled donuts. That $12.50 is split 50-50. Gift certificates down here on the bottom are 50-50. The buy one get one free cards, 50-50. For whatever reason, the coffee is like, let's say it's a $9 bag of coffee, which I think it is. 7 of it goes to Krispy Kreme, only 2 of it goes to the Scouts. I'm not sure why that is. I don't know. So you'll see that there's a cash or check amount, and then there's an online amount. So if they don't have cash or check to give to you, if they want to pay by a card, or if you want to put this, if you want to email this to people or send it through social media or do whatever, if you want to do sales online, I have created a site so that we can do that. But the processor that we use for the online sales, they charge a fee. I didn't want that fee to cut into the Scouts earning money. So I just added that fee on top of what it would be. So, it's basically, it comes out to roughly an average of 75 cents. So, for example, if they want to buy donuts and pay cash or check to a scout, they can do that with $10.50. If they want to go online to do it, then they can do that. It won't be 10.50; it'll be 11.25. After our processor takes their 75 cents out, then we're back to 10.50, obviously, and then that's a 50-50 split. So I'm just trying to adjust for that online processing fee. So you can sell glazed donuts, you see here. They have chocolate iced, a dozen chocolate iced. They have a dozen of glazed and filled donuts, but it's only three types of filling. There's cream filling, a lemon filling, or a raspberry filling. So you can choose that. The gift certificates are gift certificates that the scout will give the person that certificate, and then whenever they want to submit their certificate, when they visit a Krispy Kreme, and it's good at all Krispy Kreme locations. All of this should be good at all Krispy Kreme locations. So then the buyer decides when they want to pick up their donuts, right? They can just keep that certificate in their wallet, and then when they're nearby a Krispy Kreme, they can run in and exchange it. The buy one get one free cards kind of work the same way. I think this is probably it's one of the better deals if you think about it. So with the buy one get one cards, it's more expensive for that. It's $20 for that card, or 21 online. And basically, with that card, every time you purchase a dozen donuts, you can show that card and they'll give you a dozen donuts. And you can use that card 10 times. So basically, it's like having 10 of these, dozen original. Except for this certificate, you don't have to buy one dozen to get a dozen. I guess that is the main difference. This just gets you a free dozen when you show it. I say free, but you've paid $11, obviously. But that certificate just gets exchanged. The buy one, get one card, the way it works, I go into a Krispy Kreme, I buy a dozen, then I show them this card, they will give me an additional dozen, and you can do that 10 times. Once you've made that deal 10 times, then the card is expired. They stamp it or keep up with something like that. So you see, these are all the things that we have here for them. An order form is also, I think it's the last page maybe, and it will have all the prices again laid out, and customer information. So name, if they need to write the address down in there, because again, they're going to deliver the donuts when this is all said and done. So name, address, and then number of donuts, donut dozens. So original glaze, chocolate ice, cream filled, raspberry, lemon, or the number of buy one get one free cards, or certificates, or coffee. So you can record all of this in here and then have your amount collected, right? And list that in there. So that's how a scout could do a face-to-face sell. Take this form with them. Again, I gave every scout a form that was there Monday night. But if they lose that, or if they never brought it home, or whatever happened, you'll have this so you can print it out yourself. Okay. So let's go over a couple of more things. The fundraiser, I have it to set to end set on the 28th of February. So that gives us the entire month of February to do this. February 28th is a Monday night meeting for scouts, and so that night we'll meet and you'll hand in your order form, and we'll do all the checking off and all that and make sure everything makes sense money wise. No different than how when we do our popcorn fundraiser. So, so be set to finish up sales and bring in your forms completed on the 28th. Now, we also have an online ability, like I mentioned, and the pricing's a little bit more. I'm not charging more for the patches because there's no processing fee. Well, I mean, there's a processing fee, but we're not also going to have to cut it 50-50 with another person after that. So, and since, the spirit of that patch was to be a monetary donation, I didn't want to make it $100 and an extra dollar processing, or $20.75 or whatever. Just wanted to keep it with even numbers. But when you go online, the site is here. It's BSA Troop 45 Starkville.square.site. Okay, and I'll show you what that looks like. So you can use that address to give to anybody if they want to take part in this online. Obviously, if you sell, let's say, to someone who's out of town, as long as you can deliver those donuts to them, I think that's okay. For example, my family that I grew up with all hails from Georgia. Well, I'm probably not going to sell them donuts because it's going to be hard for me to get those donuts fresh to them. But if they bought a gift certificate, or if they bought one of those buy one get one free cards, you just drop it in the mail to them. It costs you the price of a stamp and an envelope, right? So, I mean, you might want to push that if you're trying to sell to people out of town, out of state, people you can't travel to. But if they want to pay by card and they're within driving distance that you can deliver to, that's fine. This gives them another option. So when they come to this site, we scroll down here, it will mention fundraiser ends February 28th, and it says 2 ways to support us: donuts and patches. Click below. So they can click on the donuts, they can click on the patches. If they want to buy donuts and patches, have at it. Try to get the scout to sell as much of whatever that they can. There's a little explanation down here about us and what we're doing right now. The person, if you're passing this along to someone, say via social media, hey, would you mind supporting, Troop 45? The people who are doing that online, they can go and read this website and get a little bit more information. But you see, if I go to Krispy Kreme, that loads up all these things that we were talking about: the buy one get one card, the dozen original glazed, chocolate iced, coffee, the glazed and filled, their certificates, right? And they just click on one of these things. Let's say they want to purchase the glazed and filled. I have here where they can choose what they want: raspberry or lemon or cream, right? They can choose the quantity. Well, I want 2 dozen raspberry, okay? And then down here, what I also put is which Boy Scout name should receive credit for this sale. So if, if Tommy, I don't know if we have a Tommy in our troop, I'm trying to think, but if Tommy is the one that put this online for people to buy, then when they order this, they can type in that little box Tommy's name. And then when we get the order, it'll tell us, who's bought what and who they want credited. Now, if they don't have a scout that they want to directly support, that's fine. I've got in here, if you're unsure of what the scout's name is or which scout you want to help, then just put all. And if it says all, then we will split among the boys who have sold donuts. We'll just split that money so that everybody can get a little pinch off of it, right? Uh, so this will let them go through, enter their address, their information, whatnot. So that's a way that they can order online. If we go back, you can do the same with the patches. You click here, it gives you an option of one patch or the other patch, right? So if I click on that, it's the patch, there's the description, and again, which Boy Scout should receive credit for this sale. If you're unsure, then enter all, okay? And so they can enter their information in here. This will come in. I have access to the site. I can see when the orders start to come in, so I can keep track of that. It might be helpful for you to also, if you know that someone has purchased something through your Scout's name, it's probably good to keep a record of that somewhere. Just write it down on a piece of paper so that whenever February the 28th comes and we sit down and decide, okay, here's how much each individual has raised, that we can accurately, match the sale to the Scout. So just try to keep good records is the best I can tell you on that. I think that pretty much explains everything that we're doing for the fundraiser. Someone asked, when are we delivering the donuts? Well, my intention is if the money has to be in and everything is in on that 28th, then the next day somebody, well, I won't say that. Then what we'll do is I have to call Krispy Kreme and tell them how much to prepare, and then we can go pick up. They asked me to give them like a 5-day advance notice. So, March 5th, March 6th, somewhere in there. And I'll let you know when I've got the donuts, and then we can split them up and send them on their way. If we have to take, let's say, the next Scout meeting after the 28th, if we have to distribute donuts that night to the Scouts, we can do that. But we'll get it done. My goal is to get everything that was purchased for the fundraiser out to the people before we go on this trip to Sapelo, which is March the 12th. Hopefully we've done that, distributed our stuff at least a week before. But so that's what I have for you in case you needed some more information on it. If you have any questions, email me, contact me. So that, and you can contact me or email me, send me a message through Scoutbook if you need to, or put it on GroupMe or whatever. All the different ways that we communicate. Just use that. Reach out to me if you have any questions. Again, your Scout, even if they're not going to Sapelo, they can sell donuts. They can sell a patch if they want to sell a patch. But everyone is eligible to take part in this fundraiser. So thank you all. I appreciate everything you do, and good luck.